Hello from Corpus Christi, Texas. My husband is in Houston. Um, we hear about appraisals a lot in real estate, period. But now more so than ever, when you have homes that were 100 grand less last year, selling for 100 grand more this year. And when it comes to appraisals, they are bound by certain guidelines in order to provide valuation for a property. And they include improvements to the property, but they also include facts such as rapidly increasing market, days on market, inventory levels, so, and stuff like that. And so I wanted to share this video with you because it's very likely, especially in this market, that we can get a bad appraisal. Now, a bad appraisal is not an accurate appraisal that I'm complaining about. Okay. Appraisers are in a difficult situation because if they appraise a property just to give you the value you want, then they can get in big trouble and potentially lose their appraisal license. Okay. So it's not like we have to gang up on appraisers. What we have to do is understand why appraisals are done and do our best to work within those guidelines and then go from there. When I say bad appraisal, I mean the appraisal is not accurate. It's not based on accurate comparables. It's not potentially based on what's going on in our market. So for example, I'll pull up, we had an appraisal that we are contesting per se. We're not saying you have to come up to the purchase price, although the purchase price in this case is low. It's right in the middle of homes that weren't quite as nice that had sold, right? And those are a little less than this one. And then it's not 400,000, so it's not 350, it's not 400, it's right in the middle, which is 370 in our case. And the reason I say it was a bad appraisal is because when I reviewed the appraisal report, mind you, I've been doing this a long time. I don't pretend to be an appraiser. I don't pretend to be a home inspector. I don't pretend to be someone who's outside my area of expertise, but I can say that I've been doing this long enough that I know what's going on and I know my market very well. And so when I look at an appraisal that's number one, low, doesn't take into consideration certain things like other appraisers have asked and made effort to find out, like, were there how many offers were on the property, were they conventional, how many days on market was it, what kind of upgrades do you have, because they're actually making effort to give you an accurate appraisal value. Now, what we have seen also in this market, and it happens in any market, but in this market, they are so busy that they just kind of grab what looks about right and they go, okay, and they don't really understand the differences between the property and the supply and demand and the upgrades that might happen because they're in a rush. They're not really making the effort to truly analyze the comparable homes, ask questions, call the other agents and find out how they compare. And so we have builder grade homes, which are fine. You have the builder grade. You don't have the updated cabinets or the glass or the gas cooktop. Sometimes the builders nowadays are adding, focusing on gas appliances, but a lot of times that's an upgrade. And you can tell the difference between a builder grade home and a home that was custom built, or at least the owner came in towards the end or somewhere and added upgrades. Okay. So in this case, and I'm explaining it to you so that you understand what we're dealing with. One of the things that got me on the appraisal that we had done that was low was they said the sales comparison approach. So they're going to take other homes that have sold, okay, and closed, and they're going to use those as our sold comparables, which is how we base our market, okay? And in this case, we're going to say the value was given as 353. Okay. In this case, that value was not accurate for many reasons, in particular because it didn't take into account the several updates and upgrades and uh, things that this home had in particular, probably a $13,000 pergola patio, this, and they priced it as a home with half a bath less, not a third full bath. They priced it without the patio, much less a slate paved patio. Okay, so sometimes you have to go to bat for your clients, whether you're a listing agent or a buyer's agent, not to force the issue to get the price you want, but to make sure the appraisal is accurate. And so in this case, the appraiser said that the market was stable, the market was in balance, and the inventory on the market was 3 to 6 months on the market. Well, all three of those things are inaccurate. We have an increasing market. We have shortages. We do not have inventory. Okay. And our homes sell within weeks or definitely less than 3 months. And so when I see errors like this, and then I find out from the listing agent that the appraiser went in for just a few minutes, measured and left, didn't really ask questions, didn't go outside, didn't pay attention about the upgrades, it's disconcerting because that appraiser will now hurt everybody, because if my client doesn't get this home with several updates, lighting fixtures, $15,000 pergola, another probably 2,500 of tile for the outside patios, landscaped, which is quirky, but in Corpus, you'll be hard pressed to find decent landscaping or nice grass, because people just don't take care of it. Extra concrete for parking. These are the things that I know as a real estate agent that I am trying to find my clients, but they're not normal and they are costly to do. And so when you see a property that's priced well with updates, it's like everybody freaked out. So there were multiple offers. Okay. So what we do in this case, they call it Tidewater, and there's an escalation. Okay. And they will ask, okay, they'll send you a form, or they'll say, okay, you need to send us other comparable properties, uh, that you want us to take into consideration. They'll submit it to the underwriters and see if we have a valid concern about the appraisal and the appraised value that was given. And then if they see that what we're saying is true, which that's all I do is, I'm not going to submit one if it's not true. Then they're going to come back and say, okay, we asked the appraiser to adjust, or we asked, for them to update the appraisal with more accurate information. That's what we can hope for. Now, worst case scenario, underwriters might say, no, we're just going to leave it the way it is, and too bad, so sad. And it would be very incredibly frustrating, because in order to get this home new without the pergola and the additional chandelier and the tile patios and the extra concrete and different stuff, my client would have to spend $400,000 before he even had those updates and upgrades. And some of these homes that are even a little bit smaller, maybe by 100 square feet, might have half a bath or a full bath less than the property that they are buying. And they would have to spend another $30,000 for a lot less of a home, with less features, with less upgrades, with less bathroom, less landscaping. And so to really know our market and to really understand how to walk this out, fortunately, I've been doing this for 20 some years. And I tell people we can only do what we can do, but at least I know what to do. And I'm just hoping for the best. So here's the thing that stinks. For the seller, it could potentially really stink. Obviously, if there's no adjustment and the buyer says, well, I don't have any more cash, or I'm not going to pay more than it's worth, or I'm not going to come up with more cash than necessary, then that's unfortunate. In this case, we're not sure what we're going to do. We're going to try to find something to meet in the middle. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and know I am here for you, and I will fight for you too.